Merry meet and welcome to Let's Dragon Queen Magic. I'm Taylor and today is our Divine Feminine Collective reading. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So starting us off, we do have the Cosmic Ed, the Divine Feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. So I absolutely love this for us. This is just beautiful confirmation. It really seems like lately the Divine Feminine has been needing to feel empowered because there hasn't been a lot of confirmation or a lot of manifestations happening, even though there's been a lot of confirmations happening. So this is yet again a confirmation that those manifestations are happening and that the Divine Feminine is perfectly aligned as they are meant to be in this moment. So if there are certain issues that you are learning, certain shadows that you are going through, it is all just meant to go through you are just meant to go through those lessons at this time, and Spirit is wanting to reaffirm that you have all that strength within you to overcome these obstacles. You have learned the lessons you needed to in order to truly overcome these shadows. And then the other thing that is coming out with this is that this is another beautiful confirmation of the divine timing that you have been aligning yourself with. And so anything that you have been working on, if you have been really trying to force something to happen, Spirit is telling you to go ahead and stop and pause, really consider if that is something that you want to manifest within this world and how much efforts you truly need to give, because chances are you've already given all of the efforts that are needed in order to have it manifested. So it is time to just rest and relax and wait upon the divine timing. The main message coming through too is that it is time for you to take care of yourself. It is time to take care of the vessel. So I'm hearing that there has been a lot of sickness going around lately, and so that is just something coming from Spirit saying that there is a need to rest and pause because there is too much. The force at which you are aggressively trying to achieve something is ultimately hurting you. And so now you really need to take care of yourself and understand what it means to have a happy and healthy body. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our others. So we have some soul cards for us as well. Okay. I'm being called to have it oriented this way. Normally they are not. So just take it however you need to, but you may want to pause or meditate upon this image. For now, ultimately what I'm hearing from Spirit is, yes, another beautiful confirmation of rest and relaxation, because we do have this being whose eyes are closed, and that really is telling me that that is more Spirit. And Spirit is asking you to let all of the beautiful alignment and manifestations come to you. I'm seeing that you really are getting a lot of downloads as well. And so right now you are gaining so much psychic insight that it really is tiring. So Spirit is kind of asking you to pause and meditate, spend more time, even if it's just, I'm hearing like if you find meditation to be draining, even if it is just meditation where you have a blank mind, all of the work is being done for you. You simply need to close your eyes and rest. Okay. And then we do have another. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So again, you may want to pause and meditate on the image for further messages. But the main thing that is coming forward is Divine Feminine. It does seem as though you are working very hard to really speak something into existence, and ultimately I'm really seeing that it is a partner that is trying to be manifested. So there is a certain connection that, of course, everyone here is on that twin flame connection. So there really is the message that that might be the connection that you really are trying to manifest. But for some here, it's also in regards to the ultimate career that you've wanted, or the ultimate path. And maybe you were wishing or trying to manifest a certain partnership or contract into existence. And so we're really seeing this sense of struggle as if it is being forced out rather than pulled out. So all of the energy is being forced out of your own being. And so we're again getting a very tiring sense, and your eyes are very open, but they're not necessarily looking at what you are creating. They're looking even further into the future. So that's what Spirit is ultimately saying, is you just aren't focused on what you are creating, on what is currently around you, just because it isn't currently in your line sight. And so that's again more that has to do with like the divine timing of everything that is coming forward. But Spirit is confirming that everything is moving forward as it is meant to flow. So yes, this really seems more to be your stubbornness and the fact that you don't want to stop necessarily manifesting these opportunities that you have been working so hard so much towards. And so, really what Spirit is saying is if you're going to not, essentially, Spirit is seeing here that there's going to be a certain stubbornness in regards to how you not wanting to stop or pause. So Spirit is saying then just recognize that this is the reason why you are not seeing it, is because you are not focused on the right area. And so there's still this sense of needing to be a little bit more gentle, because yet again, it is being forced out through this, but I'm getting the sense that it is about to flow much like water. And so maybe there was a certain sense of needing to release so that the water may gently take it further away from you. Okay. Okay. So now for our angel cards. All right. So we have learning coming through, and I'm not going to lie to you, it really is coming through that because there's some need to stop focusing on your primary, I don't know why that sounds weird right now. So anyways, primary manifestations. Instead, you are going to be gifted the opportunity to learn something new and take a break from what you are currently working on. But as always, what you will end up learning will end up benefiting you in the long run. So definitely just trust in the process is ultimately what I'm hearing. And I enjoy what you're learning, enjoy the path, and also take this as a good confirmation that if you felt bad about possibly learning or taking on a new course, this is now Spirit saying like, no, go ahead and expand. That was naturally a gift from me saying, yes, please trust in divine timing. Here is something else to focus your very intelligent mind. Yep. And then we do have 6, fulfillment coming forward. So something very interesting coming through this for me is twofold. So there is the message that you have fulfillment around you currently, although yes, you will find further fulfillment as you walk along your path, because of course it is bright, but this is just a gateway. It isn't necessarily mean that one side is darker than the other. It's just currently you see the light more on that side. So again, this is saying that you do currently have, yes, it is saying that you do currently have some fulfillment around you. There are certain promises that are already being manifested that you have requested, and so there is an ask of recognizing and being grateful in regards to what has been provided for you along this path, because sometimes when you just continue walking forward, you don't recognize how the landscape around you has changed and just how much closer you have been. So I'm hearing from Spirit, it is a good time to also celebrate and maybe have a little garden party. It's really coming up, especially at the time of this recording. We are entering into spring, so that may certainly be part of it. I'm also hearing if you planted any blooms in the winter that you very much are probably seeing some growth happening, and maybe remembering that you did not think that that growth was even going to happen or be possible. And so just kind of understanding where you are now. So you may not be seeing the flowers yet, but the fact that they have survived the winter has amazed you. Okay. And then again, this is just beautiful confirmation from Spirit saying that yes, there is fulfillment further along the path. Please do not worry. It is all just working within divine timing. Also, you can't run the whole path. You will get tired. So it is okay to stop and rest because you have been running for a very long time, and then take up a more natural, steady pace. Okay? Then we have another. All right, we have blessing number 39. And I am hearing, oh, this is interesting. The first message I'm really hearing from Spirit is to understand that you yourself are a blessing. So if you have been feeling insecure, if you've been feeling a little bit essentially used and abused, kind of just understand how much of a blessing you are and take away any shame or guilt that you've been feeling around what you are doing, or maybe anything that you have, kind of like any boundaries that you have set for yourself. Just understand that that is okay, and it's going to benefit you and those people around you in the long run. The other thing that really is coming through is we are getting that you are having so many psychic downloads coming through. So you are being blessed during this time. Take that however it resonates. Sometimes more knowledge is not always seen as a blessing. And right now it seems like there is a lot of resistance into this moment because it seems as if it was not quite what was imagined. So that's why there's this downloads happening, because Spirit is saying, I'm trying to show you a new image. I'm trying to show you a new future, because the light was so bright you couldn't quite see. You only saw shadows before, and so now I'm trying to show you what those shadows were. Yes, and then the other main message coming through is how much Spirit is wanting you to recognize that you have grown out these roots, and so that is now your branches are finally kind of coming in, and you yourself are now starting to flower. So yes, we did a couple weeks ago get the confirmation that the transformation to maiden is happening, and so this is further confirmation that you are taking that crone energy though into your maidenhood. So do not worry, do not yeah, I'm hearing like you can trust in like these new beginnings and new opportunities before you, because I'm hearing there might have been a lot of betrayal in the past, but now it's time to bring trust into it. And so again, you're getting all these beautiful psychic downloads, just confirming these messages. Okay. Now let's get started with the hidden truth. And so we have, I don't want to know. So yes, just a confirmation of the stubbornness that is happening in regards to not wanting to understand or not wanting to restart too is the message coming through, because it really seems like there is a big sense of needing to let go right now. And I'm hearing like there's a big question of like, what do I need to let go? What do I need to stop working on? And Spirit is ultimately saying, I've been shouting it at you, and you're saying, I still don't know what you're saying. And it's ultimately because you don't want to know, because you've worked very hard on what you were currently working on and manifesting. And I'm seeing like maybe you see it as more of a self-sabotaging habit if you don't finish this project that you're working on. And so Spirit is ultimately saying that that is why they're trying to give you something new to work on, and so that you can relieve yourself, so that you are still in fact working towards your ultimate goal, which is for many people different, but I'm getting the main sense is somehow connected to self-development still. So take that however it resonates, but it is perfectly okay to still be a bit stubborn, and then just go along with the messages as you receive them and as you're ready to hear them. Okay, and then the next one, I want to make amends. All right, so yes, we are getting some very interesting confirmations here. So okay, so for everyone here, whether you know who your divine masculine is or not, you are definitely receiving like messages from your ex or you're getting certain like memories or dreams in regards to them. And so what we're seeing is that there is again an ask from Spirit to use that good sense of discernment, to use the new eyesight that you have gained, and understand that you are able to see whether or not they are truly meaning their words. So you're really able to match sincerity and truth from the messages that you're receiving, and that's really going to help and support you in understanding who is meant to be in your life and who is not meant to be. And also something coming from Spirit is that it is okay for you to want to make amends with those who have hurt you in the past, because that is also a natural sense of development that you are going through, because a lot of divine feminines here are very kind souls, right? And so with that, when you were hurt people. And so there is a sense to want to make amends. So this is a beautiful confirmation from Spirit to do what feels right and what will make sense. Definitely don't get in contact with anyone who will be toxic. Maybe just do a letter burning ceremony and send your intentions out into the universe. So whatever, again, it makes sense for you and your energy, go ahead and take this as a great time to do. Again, we're seeing an illumination of the shadows, right? Okay. And then we see here, will you ever make things right? So some stubbornness popping in here in regards to those relationships, because as much as sometimes we want to apologize, sometimes we feel that we deserve an apology as well. So again, just the more beautiful confirmation that the shadows are being illuminated, and to understand exactly maybe why you feel you deserve an apology, and understand not only your parts within the argument, but understand about where your boundaries are able to stay strong. So understand what it looks like, not necessarily to compromise, but to come into a balanced place to where both parties can accept what was done wrong and what was done right. Okay, and then I do love you. All right. This is very true. So right now we are getting confirmation that there is someone around you who is very supportive of you and who is wanting to go through these transformative energies with you. And Spirit is just wanting you to know that that person does in fact love you, and you do love them too, even if you definitely wouldn't want to be saying those words right now. Again, that is okay. I'm getting Meg from Hercules. I won't say I'm in love vibes right now. I'm just going through my head. So definitely look up that song if you're not wanting to say those words out loud. And maybe that's a good creative relief for you too. Anyways, that message was for someone. So, but really I'm getting to from Spirit that no matter how alone you feel right now, there are people who do in fact love you. And also, if you are worried if the people around you maybe are misunderstanding you, that this is confirmation for you that you do in fact love them. So however you need to take this message, it is for your heart. All right, and then we have a couple more. All right, so we have I can't reach out. So something very interesting coming forward. There we go. Coming forward in regards to this message is the fact is that it's more in regards to your own energy. So there's a certain call right now for the Divine Feminines to become a little bit internal as they are waiting for this egg to hatch. And so there is a truth, right? This is a hidden truth. There is a truth to the message that right now there are communication failings, and that this is kind of, it's interesting because it's like not your fault, but like also well within your power to overcome. It's just not time for you to overcome it. So like Spirit ultimately is saying like it's okay that you aren't willing to reach out right now, and so that's where the can't comes, because it's more of like a psychic block and a mental block of why you won't reach out, and then eventually that may change. So yeah, it just feels again more of a confirmation from Spirit that it is okay for you to be feeling the way that you are feeling, and it is okay to continue waiting, right? Because if you feel like you deserve this apology, maybe getting outside of that energy a little bit more and just waiting until you feel ready to reach out. Because just because you can reach out doesn't mean you have to, right? It just means that you have come to a better point where you were able to have a better conversation ultimately. Okay. And so for you next, I know you don't feel the same. Ooh, okay. This is very interesting because I actually was getting a very different energy reading from this card. So, okay, because this is a perspective truth. So this is how the Divine Feminine is feeling. It is not necessarily the truth of the situation is what I'm getting from this. So because it says I know, so this is really like the Divine Feminine where you're sitting, you do not feel you do not feel connected to the Divine Masculine in any form is ultimately what is coming through. And so that is why you're like, I know you don't feel the same. And so there really is this sense of almost saying like, at this moment in time, I'm going to go ahead and forge ahead on my own path and do what I need to do. I don't need a partner of any kind. And so this is also a message coming through, by the way. So it is probably a very, like all relationships are like you haven't found like a true friend is ultimately like the imagery coming through. And so you're like letting these walls build up around you and these other people when Spirit is trying to say, keep those down. We were learning different ways to interact with people. That was part of your path. Now it's time to do this again. And so this is again the stubbornness coming through, that this is how the Divine Feminine is truly feeling. It's not necessarily the truth, but it is how they view the truth. So take it how it resonates and understand it for the shadow that it is. And then, as always, we get some shadow work. But now we're going to go ahead and get some positive affirmations. All right. And so we have, I am always guided. So yes, take this for the truth that it is. This has started with beautiful confirmation saying that you are aligned. It is just simply divine timing. You cannot rush the time. So just take your mind off of it and do other things that make you feel better. Okay. And then we also have, I release a physical and emotional tension to create space for flow. Yes. So again, confirmation from Spirit asking you to take care of yourself so that, yes, I'm seeing the soul card. The soul card where it is asking for you to let this flow. So release in order to let the tension flow and create new space. Okay. And then I am magnetic when I stand in my power. Yes, you do not need to do anything but stand within your own power. Be you. You do not need to put so much energy and effort into what you are doing, because simply by being who you are, everything that you have wanted and manifested is coming to you. So again, beautiful confirmations that you are doing everything that you were meant to be doing. So the last thing that we'll do is just give you some letters that you may use for further symbols. You may find words or names. I will not be giving out any suggestions in this reading though, but here we go. Okay. All right, so we have an I, A, H, a couple E's, S, some N's, my BZ's, F, and O's. Have fun with those. And so I want to just go ahead and thank you guys for being here. I also want to thank you guys for liking and subscribing. Please do not forget to comment below, gain some support from a like-minded community, and I definitely appreciate you being here. I'll see you next time. Blessed be.